Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reality Bars TV. Please do make sure that you are subscribed to both Thando and Reality Bars TV so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. Some they go on Thando and some of them go on Reality Bars TV, depending on what kind of video I'm doing. So listen, you guys, I do understand why some of you have been requesting that I do Isencane Lengane, especially this last episode that we watched last night. Because there's a lot that happened. Okay, a lot of things happened on this episode, and I had said before that it's difficult for me to do the reviews for Isencane Lengane because of the ridiculousness. The ridiculousness on some of these episodes will be too much sometimes that it's very difficult for me to do the review. But let's talk about some of the things that happened in this episode. One thing that happened, you guys, was that Ugogo, who is basically the original cast member of the show, passed away. I say the original cast member because Ugogo, we met her back, when we were being introduced to Tando, this young girl who was in love, in love with a boy from Olundi. The whole thing of the beginning of Tando and Siacela's love. The wedding that we never thought was going to happen because we thought people were going to have some sense and stop the wedding, but nobody did. So Ugogo, we met her back then. If my understanding is correct, you guys, Ugogo is not Tando's grandmother, but she is Tando's great-grandmother. She is actually Tando's mom's grandmother, but she did raise Tando. In fact, you guys, when the show started back in the day, we thought Thando didn't have no mother, no father. She had her grandmother, and she had somebody that she was referring to as an uncle, you guys. I actually went and I was looking for season 1, but I found season 2. I don't know what happened to season 1 on Showmax. The season 2, and there is an uncle, you guys, that was the one that was helping Thando. Everything that was done at the time, it was Ugogo, and then it was this uncle. I believe that this uncle has passed away too, if I'm not mistaken, because we haven't seen him ever since. Those were the two people that even cried on the day that Thando got married. Even the uncle cried because that's how much they loved Thando, and they wanted her to get married, but at the same time they knew that it was going to be hard for her. So when you see me or you hear me have an attitude about Tando's mom or have an attitude about Tando's dad, is because that's how far I come with this show. I've watched this show since the very first episode that was aired of this whole thing of these 16-year-olds that wanted to get married. There was no Tando's mom. There was no Tando's dad at that time. There was Ugogo, the one that just passed away, and there was that uncle. I try to put a picture here. Some of you that have been watching the show for a long time will remember this uncle even crying on the day that they had to leave Thando back emzini Olundi so that they could go back home, because obviously now she was married. Okay, now Tando's mom did make an appearance, you guys, earlier on, but it was almost like, I don't know if it was a day of the wedding or a few days of the before the wedding, or the nights before, the nights that kufanele baphume ngalo enkandla to go to Olundi. But we met her right when it was like Thando is almost married. Okay, so, and then some of us were shocked with how Thando does have a mom, and she was supposed to be this mother that lives at Tegwin. At the time, I thought she must be, working Gunamatoho or something, which we are finding out now that even back then, you guys, she was living at Tegwin, but she wasn't even working. So she had left her child back or enkandla with ugogo nomalume wayeseThekwini yena engasebenzi nokusebenza. Angazi noma wayehambe ngomjolo, angazi noma uyokipita. I do not know. Okay, they were never mentioned, you guys. Tando's mom was never mentioned until we saw her. And then, you guys, the only time that Tando's dad was mentioned was way after. Was it season 2 or season 3 that we saw Ubaba Tando? When I say, guys, that Tando's mother and Tando's dad do not have Tando's best interest, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. The only time that they now made efforts to even come closer to Thando was because of a TV show. And they were doing it only if they are going to appear on camera. People have been going on going on Thando ukuthi uhlaza kubaba wakhe, and I'm like, guys, but how do you expect the child to just all of a sudden be respectful to a father that was never there for her? The only time he came around was when Thando was doing a TV show. Even after that, he only comes around to shoot, and you guys expect that Thando must respect these people. I don't get it. Okay, I don't get it. Okay, I totally get why Tando was like, guys, let's just do a DNA, because maybe there is hope that I'm not this guy's child. Let's just do a DNA. Let's see if God can save me from these vultures. Okay, can I eliminate one of these vultures? Because those people are vultures. They are there for Tando's money. They are there for the opportunity to be on TV, and they are there for the check that they get from Moja Love when they are making an appearance on the show. Tando's mom and dad never even used to get along. But this season, we find out that they do call each other when it's off season. They'll be calling each other on some, hi, kanti sishuthani inkosi yami nganzama idlila yababuye phela abantu bakaMoja Love sishuthu ukuze nathi senze imali. That's why they call each other. Now they get along because of the show, because what they talk about when they call each other is our makushuthwane phela senze imali. They are not talking to say, listen, we haven't done right by our daughter. What can we do to make things right for our daughter? What can we do for her life to be easier? Okay, they are not concerned about that. They are concerned about the check from Moja Love. Even Tando's mom told us that that's what they talk about when Tando's father calls. She'll be like, can you shoot with me? Are we going to be able to shoot a scene? That's what they talk about. So these people don't care about Thando. Pinky doesn't care about Thando. They are coming for a check. They are coming for the scenes on Isencane Lengane. I don't know why I always mix the shows. On Isencane Lengane. Okay. So that's why I don't like them. I don't like them to appear on the show. Okay. Anyway, you guys. Now it's the funeral. Thando comes with Abantu Bagadlamuga. Loved it, you guys. I love that they are very supportive of Thando. And quite honestly, you guys, for people that have been saying, and even for me, because there was a time when I'm like, I wish Thando could just leave Olundi, ahambe ayobheka enye impilo angayiphila. I understand why Thando stays Olundi, guys. I understand why Thando stays Gadlamuga, because that's the only place she's getting support. Of course, Nagadlamuka nama issues are corner, because even Gadlamuka was in Omaknene sitting with Thando, telling her what they're going to have to take care of her, asking her about the money that they receive from Moja Love. She was. So everybody around Thando is a vulture to Thando. They just are entitled to the money that Thando is getting. Everybody wants to know how much are you getting from Moja Love, and they want to know, Uguti, what do you do with that money? How come I'm not getting part of that money? How come you haven't done this and this and this and that? Everybody in Thando's life wants that. But I did love the fact that they were able to come together, Bampelezelu Thando. So there was like a big representation of the Dlamuka family Kamsomu for the funeral. From all that we saw, the funeral went well, you guys, and Ukoko was laid to rest in peace. Even the fights that happened afterwards. And I don't even know why they decided to talk about the things that they talked about at the funeral, because it was unnecessary for that to happen. So now, you guys, by the way, where was the Tabete family? Where was the Tabete family? You know why they were not there? Because they did not think that Moja Love was going to shoot the grandmother's funeral. Because if you really are in communication with your daughter, you are going to know when she has lost the one, because that was the person that Thando had. That was the only person that Thando knew for sure this is the person that cared about her. Where is the Tabete family? But they were able to find their way all the way to Olundi to the funeral Bablamuga, because they knew for sure that Moja Love was going to shoot Bablamuga, because Bablamuga was a cast on the show and a very important and a paid cast member on the show. So they found that they did not know what Bablamuga Gugupi, but they did find their way to Bablamuga for Bablamuga's funeral. So where were they when Thando is burying her grandmother? Where were they? Where is the grocery to help her? You know, Sipi Spego Pella from the Tabete family. What happened to the Tabete family? And you guys are like, but Tabete family, it's a family, it's going to rescue from what? How are they going to rescue her? Here is Thando now. She has lost the only person she had, Kamsomu. I think she has another aunt that helped Ukoko to raise her that is still there. But Ukoko was like the main person. Where is the Tabeta family? Tell me in the comment section, where is the Tabeta family? They were not there. Now, here is the one vulture now. There is Thando, who is also, by the way, shooting for Moja Love. She might not be getting the exact amount that Thando is getting, but she's getting something. Okay, she's definitely getting something. And Thando has said, my mother gets money from Moja Love. I never ask her how much she gets from Moja Love. I never ask her what she does with the money, but she feels entitled to ask me about that. Now she is there, everything now. I felt like everything was almost done now at the funeral. It was just an after thing. She started asking Thando about imali. Thando, uyenzani imali? Are you getting 25,000? I don't know who told her that Thando is getting 25,000 and all of that. Guys, I wish at this point they would just reveal to us how much these kids are getting paid. I wish that they would do it because I feel like Moja Love doesn't want to reveal, but at the same time, they want us to think that these kids are getting a lot of money. They want to create that picture that these kids are getting a lot of money, and I suspect that it's not a lot of money. So they keep saying, because Thando at the beginning, when her mom was saying, but you get 25,000 rands, what do you do when you have 25,000 rand every week or every month? And Thando's like, I don't get that kind of money. But then later on in that same scene, not in the same scene, in the diary, when she's having a conversation with her mom, she's like, I don't even get that much money. You know, who told you I get 25,000? And then later in the diary, she's like, I won't say how much I get because I'm not allowed to talk about how much I get, but it's way more than 25,000. In 25,000. So I was like, so which conversation is true? Is it the conversation she had with her mama when she says, I don't even get close to that? Or is it the one where she's in the diary session and says that she gets way more than 25,000? Okay. Listen, you guys, the pay was talked about when it came to Isencane Lengane. I think it was way back in season 4 where they were talking about how they get 15,000 each. It was only 3 cast members that was getting paid. Bablamoga, Thando, and no Siacela. And the rumors were they are getting 45,000 in total, all of them per episode, meaning that they get 15,000 each. Is supposed to be like that. Obviously, the 30,000 would be for Siacela and Thando, and then the 15,000 would be for Ubabu Dlamoka because he was also a cast member on the show. Now, you guys, I don't know how true that was at the time, but even at the time, I felt like that wasn't even enough to be paying these people because the show had always been number 1. I think it was number 1 before We Are Jola 99 was We Are Jola 99, and then when We Are Jola 99 came, I think We Are Jola 99 was number 1 at some point. But they've always done well in terms of viewership. The Moja Love Isencane Lengane. So I don't know how much they're getting, you guys. It could be the 25,000. It could be more. I think it should be more per episode. I think that each of the cast should be getting more than that, especially the main cast, which is Usiacela, Tando. Now, what they do with their money is very important, of course, because we want to be able to see that their lives are improving. Obviously, there is something wrong here because we don't see that, okay? I think one thing that Usiacela does a lot is buy cars, because every season you see her drive like a different car than he was driving the season before. And it doesn't look like he buys like new cars. It would be looking like he bought like a good second hand, but it's always, I think that he uses a lot of his money to buy cars. Okay, maybe the car would break that they were driving the previous season and then he buys another car. I don't know, but it always looks like he's driving a different car than the season before. If you look at their house, you can see that they've bought furniture here and there and they've tried to make their house look nice inside. But if you look at Dlamoka, guys, up until the week before, when they were painting, it looked really like it's a home that is not being taken care of, because even the paint was peeling and all of that. So the question of where their money is going is a valid question, but it's coming from the wrong people, because it's coming from Tando's mom, who really is not asking because she is concerned with Thando and her baby, but she asks because she's concerned about herself. She wants to get some of that money. She's concerned about her child. She says Thando must take care of her child. She's concerned about abantu bakubo. What are they going to eat? She is saying they are there at home, the fridges are empty. For some reason, that is Tando's responsibility to go to my fridge. Tando is like, listen, by the time I came here, I had sent 1,000 rands for the funeral. So angithumelile minimal. When did you send imali? Like when I was listening to that conversation, I was like, this is not even black text. This is not even black. This is like red text or something. It must have its own category because this cannot be red text. How can my mother think I am responsible for her child, for her children that she brought into this world? Like I must take care of them. Like for her to go to a point where she's like, I'm not going to take care of your sister. You must take care of your sister. Who the hell gave birth to that sister? I was so mad. Guys, I was so mad. One, Thando, guys, like her brain is not working. That woman is not right in the head. To even at the time, did you see how much Thando was crying? Because obviously that's one of the last people that cared about her that she has lost. Right after that, you are having that conversation with your daughter. Are you okay in the head? Are you okay? She gets upset about it because she wants to know where the money goes. Let's just say, you guys, that when they get the money, Thando, they're gonna takes all of the money and uses it. And it's their husband and wife. Yes, it would be wrong that he does that because Thando's money should go to Thando. But which is better? To give it to her mom? Because I'm sure like who's mom, or give it to Baba. Who is better? I think it's better to spend more than anywhere else. Not that good right to go to Thando and angabi na control kwimali yakhe. But I feel like Thando's mom can never rescue Thando because she is a vulture herself. She's an opportunist herself. Even her, she's concerned about the money that Thando. She's concerned about the money she also gets from the show. She's trying to get in sins when she is around Thando so that she can get paid for the sins that she did. But she's not concerned about Thando. So I totally understand Thando. Yesterday, it looked like she's losing her mind. It really looked like that. And I think it's because really she was dealing with losing her grandmother. And here is your mom here who didn't even raise you, who wasn't even around when you were growing up. Thando even asked her, okay, ma, when you left us here with Ukoko, did you even send money here? She says, how was I going to send money? I wasn't working. So that is supposed to be accepted by your child, that you left her with a grandmother and you never knew what they were eating, what they were wearing and all of that, because when you were not working, the child must just accept that. But now when the child says, listen, I send money home, but that's all I can send. I can only send 1,000 rand when it's not enough for you. But when you used to not even send a cent for her when she was back home. Guys, that show is going to drive me crazy because I'm like, I get upset with Mocha Love because I feel like they do set up those things. Because I feel like the producers are the ones that are like, okay, guys, you need to have a conversation. Why are you even pushing for this ridiculous conversation to take place on the day of the funeral or the day, if it was day after, okay, fine, the day after the funeral at best? Why are you pushing for Thando to have that conversation there? Did they need to? Because when they were just supposed to come shoot the funeral, first they were supposed to make sure that it's all at a distance. Because you have to respect people, you guys. You have to respect, there are certain spaces you really can't go with the cameras. There are things that you really can't show with the camera. So it's just for you to show Thando is here at the funeral, maybe follow Thando here and there, and then just take a step back. Now why are you forcing that conversation to happen there? That also just makes me mad because I felt like they don't understand. And if you look at it, you guys, the only person that was crying there, maybe other people were crying, but from the people that we know from the show was Thando. I never saw Thando cry, man. So the grandmother was really important to Thando. Why did they need to have that conversation there at that time? Then, you guys, I guess earlier on they had a scene where they were talking about the ridiculous thing that the Tabete family raised, which was that Tando's child is not Thando, which is just a ridiculous thing, you guys. I feel like it's a ridiculous thing. If it is true, it's not something that should be raised by Abantu Tabete. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's irritating for me that even if you were suspecting that your child's child does not belong to the man that he's married to, you are not going to be the one as a father that is going to raise them interested on national TV. So me, guys, I feel like Thando needs to focus on herself. If she can just focus on her child. Of course, she still wants to be in her marriage, even though I would like for her to not be in that marriage. But that's the best that she can get. I feel like the Dlamuka side of her life is what she should hold on to. Of course, she can still improve her life and go and seek, greener pastures in terms of like maybe finding a job, maybe finding something that she can do to make money. But the Dlamuka family is the security for her, because over there by her mom is entitlement, is people wanting to take her money. Over there by her dad, it's even worse. So she should stay here. As bad as for other people it might seem, here Gadlamoga, I feel like that's where she has the security and that's where she has support. And maybe finally we will understand why Tando is never really going to live, because where is she going to live and go? To the Msomi family? Did you see what happened when she's there? Imagine if she had to go and live there. She was even being asked to yeah, guys. Anyway, guys, that's all I want to say about this, because I'm heated about this show. I'm very heated because I was like, what kind of a mother does that? At the funeral, your daughter was just crying just now. No, anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in the Tanda.